welcome to Gracie Schwartzwald. I'm here with Erkan Mete, and we're going to go over a viewer request, which was opening and passing the closed guard. So this is something I ask my students all the time. How many closed guard passes are there?
There are no closed guard passes.
There are no closed guard passes. You have to open the guard first and then pass. So therefore, every guard pass is an open guard pass. And this isn't meant to be facetious or silly. It's to understand that there are two different skill sets you have to develop to deal with the closed guard. You have to be able to unlock the guard, and then of course you have to be able to pass the guard. Those are both extremely difficult in their own right. Okay, often you should practice just one or the other so you get really good at it. These days, a lot of times people, especially because of tournament settings or tournament style training, you get in somebody's closed guard, if they ever do even closed guard, and you just kind of wait a few seconds and they'll open and go to some sort of open guard and you can pass them. The problem is you run into somebody who won't unlock their legs, and then you're stuck and you start getting more frantic trying to unlock the guard, and you get swept or submitted, something like this. So you have to understand how to unlock the guard. Okay. We're going to go over one way. There are many ways, and I'm not going to cover sort of all the mechanics or details. I do have an instructional that will be coming out on passing the guard, mastering the basics. That'll cover all these passes more in depth, but right now we're going to go over one of the ways to pass. Now, there are two fundamental ways to pass: down on our knees or standing. These days I hear a lot of schools and a lot of instructors where people say, my coach says, always stand passing, never pass on the knees, always stand to pass. And for me, that's an idiotic statement. You're literally telling somebody to take away half of their options. And it usually comes down to something like, well, when you stand, you're faster, right? Yes, that's true, but it rules out all the negatives and the benefits of passing on your knees. So you have to know what the pros and cons are both. Both are valuable, right? There is no better, right? Both have their advantages and disadvantages. So really quickly, some of the advantages of standing to pass. Well, when I stand, okay, I'm further away, so it's harder for him to submit me. Okay, that's one thing. It's harder when I open his legs. It's harder for him necessarily to re-entangle. Okay, I mean he can do open guard stuff potentially. Clinch and hold me is going to be harder. I am on my feet, so therefore I am faster. Okay, so and also when I stand, it's harder for him to keep his legs closed because gravity is pulling on his legs the whole time he's hanging, and so it is harder to keep his guard closed. Okay. Now there are disadvantages as well. Some of these disadvantages, well, I'm further away, so I've got a lot more distance to cover in order to pin him. I have poor base because I'm on my feet versus on the entire bottom part of my legs. Because I am further away, it's easier for him to build shields in the way, bringing his knees in, his frames in, as opposed to when I'm closer. And because I'm further away, it's harder for me to control his hips immediately. Okay. Now, when we're on the ground, there are again pros and cons. Some of the negatives, I'm closer, so it's easier for him to submit me. But because I'm on my shins, I have a more secure base. And again, there's various other pros and cons we'll go into in the instructional. But right now, we are going to cover one of the ways to stand up and open the guard and pass. So can I get you down, please? Okay. So, yeah, perfect. So a couple things. First things, right now, we're going to start low on our feet. Again, as I say, what's the best technique? There is no best technique. Some people come to me now, they say, I'm always supposed to be on my toes. Right? No, being on your toes has its advantages and disadvantages. Being flat foot has its advantages and disadvantages. Right? Figure those out. Don't just go with what somebody tells you. Okay? But right now I want to keep my base pretty low. Okay? My hands are going to be on his body. Okay? Now my hands can be on his arms, his chest. I can be staggered here, but generally I don't want to have both hands back. Okay? I will teach a way to do this, but for now, don't put both hands back because this is where he bends. If he brings his knees forward, I fall. Or if he decides to sit up, I can't stop him. So I want my hands here, at least one hand, so if he tries to sit up or pull me down, I can keep my posture. Okay? Now, can I get you on back for a second? My posture is this. I'm not keeping my back really straight with my hips this way. Okay, my bottom hip is behind the top of my hip. Because right now I'm very tilt forward. So I'm going to actually tuck my hips under, so the top of my hip is actually behind my lower hip. So in order to pull me forward, he's got to change my hip posture all the way over. So it's not really about keeping your posture, your back super straight, come back this way a little bit, so much as I keep the back of my head good, and my chin, my hip tucks. So now he tries to pull me down. Here, I keep my back straight, and this, I'm here. So I tuck my hips under, make this space small. I don't look down at him. Now both my hands are going to go forward on this one. So I'm going to take this slack, I'm going to reach a little bit of his chest, pull the slack out, and then put my palms down. I put my palm down like this. Okay, I don't have my fist like this. It's too easy to get rolled. Now to save myself from getting arm barred or wrist lock, I open my elbows out a little bit. So he wants to try to arm bar me now. It's very hard for him to get. He tries to wrist lock me. It's hard to pull. My elbow is here. Now he can, yeah. Okay. And he can get me back for all those times. Here. Now here's the number one. Can I get you over here? Sorry. The number one mistake people do when they go to open the guard and stand, they go like this. But you see, I just compromised my posture forward. I just came here. My shoulders travel in front of my knees or hands, I'm going to fall. My posture has to go up. Okay, this is really important. Okay. So again, if he watches me, and my head comes forward, he's going to pull his knees right as every time I'm going to go here. Even if I have my hands here and he pulls his knees a little bit to one side or the other, I'm going to fall. So what I want to do is go up, and my foot has to travel in front of my knee, preferably pretty close to him. Okay, I don't want my foot back, because right now, you see, in order to put my foot back, what happened to my shoulders? I came forward. I got no posture now. Okay, he can pull me. So I go up, and I step my foot up. Notice my toes are fairly forward. They're not like this. It's going to give him a lot of room to move his hips. So pull me forward. Pull me forward. Here, even if he grabs my collar or tries to pull me, I got good posture. So, I'm not putting my weight forward. I'm going up. This is crucial. Okay, I call this the Captain Morgan position. Here. Now my weight will switch slightly to this side. I actually just rotate my body just a little bit. I want to open my knee. I turn my body, step. Here, my knees are tight. This way. I got good posture. My feet are forward. Now I'm going to stand all the way up. If I just do this and stand up like this, yeah, see, it gets him everything to push off of my hips. I cannot stand this way. No one, see, I was able to drop his hips all the way to the ground, put his feet on me. Now I'm going to be dealing with open guard. So we pull the slack out, give him a little headache. Here, I step up. Now I'm going to posture all the way up as I pull him underneath me. And my hips go forward. I'm not like this. My hips go forward, my elbow connects to my thigh, my palm is up. If he were to unlock his legs now, he even tries to play open guard. He can't drop his hips to the mat if he wants. Close your guard again. So I don't stand like this. My hips are going forward, my elbow is glued to my thigh. My arm locks out. Don't go like this and push with your arm bent. Arm locks. Now I'm going to step my leg back a little bit, turn my knee in just slightly. My foot does not go very far back. My arm stays straight, I lock. Knee drops, and now we're into our passing position. Okay. Couple things. Get you. I'm here. I step, connect. Okay, now we're adding a little bit more to it. I step, connect. Okay, go ahead and do something. Even if he wants to unlock his legs and push me away, bring his knees in, he can't. Hips forward, not this. Elbow connected, arm locked, down, knee over, foot hooked at the knee, not in here. Turn this way. My foot is going to come out a little bit, knee pinched. If I leave my foot out like this, hip out a little bit, circle your foot in, and now I'm going for a ride. So I pinch my knee. Here, he tries to move his hips, even without my my foot on this side, super detail. I'm really digging my toes in to the crook of his knee. I'm not like this. You feel there's no pressure, right? And this is it. Now right away, hug, hug. Everything's tight. You're trying to move. So one time. Pull the slack out, butt is down. He tries to pull me forward. He tries to pull me forward, I stand. Connect, connect, pull me forward. Here. Now I drive my hips forward. Here, elbow tight, arm locked. I'm not using my muscles. Slight step, knee in, toes out, hug the head, turn. Knee pinched. If you want, you can feed the collar. Right now we're going here. Okay? Now, from here, we're going to pass. There's a lot of ways to pass. We're just going to do a back step. My knee tucks in. I don't do a big step. Okay? My foot is just going to kick myself in the butt, and then I sit. Now here's the important part. I tell people, establish control, build the control into your pass. People pass, and then they try to control. So I get here, you know, and I scramble, and I do the big back step, and then he's moving already, and I did all that work. So I'm at a halfway point. I tighten everything up before I move. So we're here. Let's turn your head this way. Move this way a little bit more. There we go. Foot, leg, look. I get tight. I shoot my arm as through as I can. Here. My knee touches. Foot kicks. Now here's the thing. If I step back, you'll see people do this. They'll turn their upper body. Most of the time I want to keep my body in alignment, but not this time. I do this. You feel any weight on you? No. Okay? He's going to be free to move. I actually do this. I kick. Look, my chest stays down. My pressure is on him still. Move. Here. Now I control. Palm facing him. Fingers here. Toes still hooked on his leg. I don't want to just pass. Turn this way. I don't want to just step out because he's already in position to bring that knee in. So as I take my leg out, I'm going to push the knee. See how it elevates his hip? Here. So I push, bring my knees in. Now my knee is actually even under his back a little bit. For him to turn back into me is going to be tough. Okay, so let's get your head on this side. Do that last little part. Okay. So we were here, step, knee pressure, good deep grip, knee in, step back, chest, all my weight's on his face. I control the leg, push from under his arm, side control. So, let's start from the beginning. There you go. Slack out, palms, good posture, step up, connect, palm up, step up, connect. I'm sitting in this position. He tries to do anything, there's nothing he can do. Try to pull me forward. Here. Then look, I'm going to lift my hips and drive my hips forward. Elbows connected to my thigh. I don't want this open space. Arm locked, right step, knee in, toes out, hug the head. Knee pinched, nice tight grip, knee in, weight on him, back step, pressure, control, turn, knee at the top of his head. Now he tries to bridge or do anything. Here. And that is one of our ways to open the guard, standing, and to pass. Remember, every point I'm moving is to a point of control. A point of base. Don't scramble to pass. The problem now is people, they get you? They go, well, you should always stand to pass.
But then they stand poorly like this, the guy opens right away, then they're trying to do all this. Yeah, you know, he opened, but now you're in a scrambling situation with him, right? When I'm on top, I want to control, even when I'm in the guard, okay? And that is one of our ways to open the guard and to pass. And how many ways are there to open close guard?
To open the close guard?
Yeah. I mean, how many ways are there to pass close guard? None. So that was one way to open the close guard and one way to pass the then open guard. And thanks for your comment.